Celtic goddesses, fairies, mermaids, makers of all things beautiful. Today, in 1 year, we will be gathering in Ireland together for the Celtic Goddess Retreat. This has already been such a ride for me. The fact that it is an all-star retreat. All of you that I've committed have been on retreat with me before. And so a lot of us know each other. We know the language. We've been engaging with deep soul work. Um, we have a bandwidth and a stamina unlike any other. And that means it's going to be next level expansive. And I was thinking about it, and this video is a reminder that your Imrama starts now. Your wonder voyage with this Ireland retreat, your sadhana, your yatra, your pilgrimage starts now. It starts when you said yes. The energy of yes, it's an expansive, golden, luxe energy. And you've all tapped into that energy when you signed up. In feminine magic, we call this, it's the planet Jupiter. And Jupiter is gold. She's expansive. And there's somewhere in your body that was like a full resounding yes. And a year is not a long time for having a sadhana. Somewheres we come back to over and over again. And so 1 year to Ireland today, and to remind you, your retreat starts right now. It doesn't start when you step on the plane. It doesn't start when we enter the castle doors. It starts now. And the woman that you are becoming, and that's revealing itself to you on on the way on a way to there. Like we're not waiting for Ireland to be changed. We are changed, looking forward to Ireland. And that's what I've understood for many years now going on retreat, is that my retreat always started when I signed up. And the breadcrumbs and the connections and the synchronicities already started even before I was there, before I was in India or before I was in Nepal or before I was just recently in the North Cascades. And tapping into that makes it so much more deep. Um, and so we don't just show up at the retreat and everything is cold and like, okay, let's go here. We're not winging transformation here. And there is such an incredible, the fact that we have a year in advance to tap into the containment that will be created there together. Um, that feels really, really powerful to me. So don't be fooled. Your retreat doesn't start August 22nd. It starts, it starts now. And I want to give you every month, I will send you Ireland Fairy Dispatch where I want to keep you inspired and I want to tell you what I'm reading, how am I preparing myself, and all the things I do to really get me in the feels of this retreat. And uh, one thing today that I would love all of us to do and is that you start journaling about this Imrama, about this wonder voyage. And I'd love for you to have, perhaps you have a journal dedicated for Island. It doesn't need to be that. It could be this year's planner. It could be your Artemis journal, but to start because I'm really like, how will you contain this trip? Um, like knowing that it's happening like that in itself, like the magic started where you tapped into that yes lux golden energy of saying yes to yourself, of saying, of being, of allowing this experience to enter your body. It doesn't just enter it on in 2027. It's already starting to work its magic through us. This is how incredibly impactful, transformational. That's why retreats are so they change you on a level that's a cellular level. It's, it's not just like the mind rational level. It's really from a visceral, somatic place. And in the newsletter, you'll see I've written a lot of questions. I'd say these are the basic questions that I answer myself before going on a retreat, before going on a pilgrimage. But the main question I'd love for you to answer, because you will need that question when we start the retreat next year, is who am I 1 year before starting this retreat? Who am I? And start with the woman that said yes. Who, right now, today, start with you today. Radical honesty today. And, I even go so far as like, that's what journaling does to me. It helps me to slow down and really get inside and feel this yes energy, for myself. And at least answer this journal entry. And the other questions, you can spend the whole year like, journaling about it, or I mean the questions, I just came back from the North Cascade with my teacher Stephanie, and I was doing them on the plane and on lunch, and because also sometimes like I still don't know why, and I think it's worthwhile to mention like you don't need to know exactly why you're coming to Ireland, and you let Ireland reveal itself to you, but again you stay open and expansive to how it will reveal itself to you throughout throughout this year. And so, whether you have like one dedicated journal, that will be up to you. And my job as your mistress of radiance, master fairy, will be to send you the dispatch. And they're not meant to be homework. They're not meant to be assignment. They just mean to keep nourishing and funding this incredible gift that you're giving yourself by coming on this experience. And so, who am I 1 year before Ireland? Okay, if we could all answer this. And one last little secret is that, in December 2027, I will reopen Guide again. And if you're coming to Ireland with me, it would make a lot of sense that you join Guide next year. And I hope that you know why. And again, it's really connected to this aspect of like expressing our wonder voyage, being on this sadhana leading up to Ireland. And I mean, 3/4 of you are in Guide this year, anyways, that are starting Guide. You're valuing, like that showed me, I was completely impressed of the showing up for Ireland, because that means for me, like, you get it. I want to be around more women that get it, that get the value of solo traveling, that get the value of extrapolating ourselves out of our house so we can have a bird's eye view on what's happening in our lives. We can have more clarity. We can live our lives in fiery and fierce and fiery purpose, because we have these times of solitudes and community. And this at Guide, this is where we practice this over and over again. And this is what I'm seeing a lot. It's like, you know, maybe in your journal you will write, these are things that I want to let go. Well, you're practicing this all year coming to Ireland. You're not just gonna let them go in Ireland. You're practicing this all year. And so I'm gonna concur to say that if you join Guide, your Ireland experience will be so much more expansive, so much more grounded. And because also you'll have nurtured the relationship. Almost, I think almost everyone, you know each other, you have the feminine magic linked. But for me, it's like this exciting possibility to arrive in Ireland already connected through months in advance of breathing together, of working the healing cycle of guide. I'm not changing anything. I'm gonna work with the planner even on the retreat, of being witnessed together in community, of moving, yoga, sacred circle dance, creating together, questioning, paying attention. And so we're like really warm. Um, Once we arrive in Ireland, we're coaxed, we're willing, we're open, and we're really ready for what wants to happen next. So it's like we're not like pretending, or when it's not cold, it's not unpracticed soul work. We're inside our soul work. Most especially, we're already living it. So in that way, we're not like jumping into cold water when we arrive in Ireland. We've been swimming in an ocean that's like really warm and wide, and we're holding each other's hand already. I mean, what? That's my dream, but it's always up to you, the way you want to walk forward into your Imrama. Um, yeah, towards Ireland. And so yeah, I just don't want anybody to show up in Ireland and be rusty with soul work. I don't think that's gonna happen at all. But I do been I've witnessed so many day in and day out. I witness incredible, impactful transformation inside Guide, and living that together, with the healing cycle. Like, when I teach the Ireland retreat, I'm gonna assume that you've done the healing cycle of 2027. So between now and then, and these are always invitation. It's not my job I don't want to force anybody to join Guide either. That's not my job. So on the road to Ireland 2027, you'll be getting emails just once a month on the 22nd of every month. And these are going to be the books I'm reading, the Pinterest board I'm making, the playlist I'm making, books that I want you to know. Again, these are not homeworks. You're not obliged to read all these books, but they're meant at inspiration, what to pack, where we're gonna go, like extra. So I'm getting excited. That's how I get excited. That's how I work. I just share about things that move me. And so slowly, month by month, it's like Ireland's gonna come towards us. So your first invitation is so simple. It's to get a journal and write who you are now, and who am I 1 year before Ireland. Um, and keep it. Make sure you bring it with you. Okay. And so I love you so much. Let's go on this Imrama together. 365-ish days, Ireland fairies. Yeah.